In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hi there, my name is Tiffany Largie. I'm the founder of Onwards to Freedom, the CEO of Do the Damn Thing Inc., and we teach people how to own their story, stop thinking small, and use it so that way they can do the damn thing in their own life. But really and truly, you're either doing the damn thing or you're not. And when we think about, like, why does that matter? Why is it important? Because life is too short. It's too short for us to not make our dreams a reality. It's too short to live on someone else's orders or direction. It's too short to settle. It's too short to shoot for average. It's too short to just be and have enough. When we wake up every day and the goal is, let me just figure out how to pay bills, we're in the wrong place. That's not dreaming. That's called survival. My number one goal for every woman on the planet is to get beyond surviving. 16 years ago, I was a single mom. Putting my kids to bed hungry was like the end of the world every day. I was frustrated. I was angry. I was pissed off most of the time because I just didn't feel like I was enough. I didn't feel like I had enough. I didn't feel like I could do anything more. Once I made a decision to stop thinking small, my whole world changed. And I went from being this angry, upset mom all the time to building a handful of multiple 6-figure businesses, and then on to build a multiple 7-figure business. In 2015, I sold my company and I decided that I wanted to teach other dreamers at that point, not only how to stop thinking small, but how to own their story, because that's the number one area that we think too doggone small. In the last couple of years, we've created a movement around the world called Onwards to Freedom, where we teach people how to do the damn thing. And what's great about that is that what's neat and exciting is that I have family everywhere. And like no other community I've ever seen, that we're of all true colors. Like we're all colors, not all one color with a sprinkle of the other, which is typically what I see when I see that we're international or we're multiracial or we're multi-ethnic or whatever word you want to use. I truly look across my audiences and I see a multitude from men to women, 25, 35, 50, black, white, yellow, in between, Asian, Indian, African. And I say to myself, man, it's amazing what happens when you tell your story, when you own it, and you stop making excuses for it. So I'm going to bring on Pamela. Dun, 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 dun. We're so excited to bring on Pamela. Pamela is just such a neat woman because she comes from an extensive background. And sometimes we get to a place where we're like, well, I've already worked in this place for 20, 30 years. I've already done X for so long. I'm not at the end of my game, but I'm definitely at this chapter. I should be doing, I love the fact that she looked at the road ahead. She looked at the road past and she said, you know what? I don't know if I've made the kind of impact that I wanted to make on this planet yet. I don't know if I've done what I've wanted to do in this life. And I'm tired of, she's lived an amazing life. She has a crazy amount of accolades and a long list of like, I am dope city, right? I have accomplished this, accomplished that, accomplished, her list goes like that. But it doesn't change the fact for me that at some point we have to make a decision. We've got to make a decision to ask ourselves, what do I want? Because once we ask that question, everything changes. What do I want? What do I really want? I'm going to go ahead and bring on Pamela. I'm going to bring on Pamela. Let's see if I can do this by myself. Let me see if I am capable. Yes.
Yes, you are.
We can hear her. Can we see her? We're going to ask her. We asked her to start her camera. Boom.
Yay!
Pamela.
Yay.
Pamela. How exciting. I know you got a 2-step from me. That was a 2-step,
Oh, that was a 2-step?
That was a 2-step. Sometimes you have to bring in a 2-step in order to set the tone of what's about to happen. Because some people will be confused, and I want to be clear. I'm thrilled and excited about this moment. I've secretly been able to just kind of watch you from a glass because I actually had the opportunity to meet you at an untraditional environment for me, which is not in stage, not inside of our one-day events or any of the above. And we had simple, not casual conversations, but we definitely had interactions. And I probably, because there was always wine at the table. which allowed me to stay put and not move. And I guess we sat on a board or committee or something together.
Yes.
And we had no idea who each other was. And I'm not going to say there was no interest, but it was really like meeting adjourned, goodbye, right? Meeting adjourned, goodbye. And just being honest, that's literally how it went because everybody's busy. And, you know, I often know one thing's for sure. Whenever I am asked to do something and I show up. And even though sometimes I don't want to, I say to myself ahead of time, well, there's someone here that I'm supposed to serve. There's someone I'm supposed to meet. And I walk into that. And it's funny because I remember when I was asked just to spend time there because of my background with events and my background and knowledge of, you know, producing things and to kind of give my ear. And every time I would sit there, I would say to myself, who am I here? Who am I here for? Like, you know, like I literally and truly, I honestly would say, I don't know who I'm here for. And I would question myself and be like, I feel like maybe I was wrong. What's funny is that before I've been inside of that environment for 10 years, never before have I sat on a committee or a board or any of the above. I'm normally not present. You can't find me or see me. And when I would show up to these meetings, I would say to myself, but it doesn't change the fact that sometimes we are called to do something. We feel it. We know we're supposed to do it. And then we just have to be obedient. And you know what I mean?
I do. I do. That's perfect. Yeah.
Being obedient. And I felt like I needed to be obedient to this process, only to find out that I was there to find you.
Right. We didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Which was so exciting. But you know, the first time that we had an actual conversation, which was offline. It had nothing, it actually had it was not even in the midst of that. I knew in the first 5 minutes, especially when I asked you a question. Do you remember when I asked you this question? I said, I started talking about the willingness to dream and to dream beyond and to really allow ourselves to want. And I just remember how quiet you were on the other end. You were quiet. You were just like that kind of quiet.
Yeah, like, wow.
Well,
I want to dream. I want to do something. I want to help others do it too.
That's funny that you say that that's what your reaction was. For me, I thought you were like, I think she's crazy, but I don't want to hang up because I'm afraid.
No.
I heard in my mind, I was like, well, she probably thinks I've lost my mind and I'm crazy, but it's okay because this is the truth and this is what I'm here to do and this is what I'm going to do. And it's so neat for me because I actually this morning was thinking to myself about that moment, about my willingness to tell my story, my willingness to be obedient. And obedient was, I knew I needed to connect with you, but I actually, you know, it's very rare for me to reach out to people in that capacity. And I just felt it. And I kind of said, but I like, you know, but like, I'm not even sure what or how or why and what, where and who. And it's funny because we often get this knock and we ignore it. And in this, I can replay this. I'm sure you can identify with so many chapters in my life where we have a knock and it's called being obedient.
Right.
And I don't want to take this to religion or religious.
No, it's not about that. It's about your inside, your intuition, your gut feeling.
Totally. Hands down. And the second, so this is the lesson before I jump into so we can find out how dope and amazing Pamela is. It's important. I felt the need to teach this particular lesson because it's 911. The second that we don't respond to that intuition, the second that we don't respond to that knock inside of us is the second that we make another move to not trust ourselves. And when we don't trust ourselves, we become weak because damn it, if you can't trust yourself, you can't really trust anything or anyone. You have to trust yourself like 600% first. And because I've been through this hard lesson through the school of hard, right? I watched that thing unfold and I said, well, I'm not going to not trust myself. So here I am. I'm going to stay present.
Yes.
Now,
wow, I don't mean to interrupt, but that means so much to me because that's another part of who I am is learning to trust my intuition, because I have so much experience that every time I don't trust it, it's a problem.
Right.
So I need to not do that. I need to trust myself.
Period.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
trust yourself implicitly.
Yes.
So sometimes we say, well, I'll trust myself here, but I won't trust myself here. No, you got to trust yourself around the board. If you can't trust yourself around the board and there's a hole, then that's not trust. 91% trust is not complete trust.
But this is where you come in terms of you break it down. Most of the time, people, including myself, we don't realize that we're not trusting ourselves. We think that we're making the best decision with what the information that we have. But if it goes against what's inside you, then that's not right.
And that's not right. Period. Hands down. 92% is not complete trust. You might as well be at 0.
Yeah.
In my opinion, if you're not at 100, you might as well be at 0.
I agree with that.
Because
it's a hard lesson, though.
It is a hard lesson, and it's not even easy for me to say, because sometimes you're in scenarios where it's hard to trust yourself. But in my decision to trust me, or my decision to do the damn thing, it requires that I'm going to trust me. Like, that's the rule. Mm-hmm. Like, the rule is,
that's the foundation. That's right. The operating system.
Correct. I'm going to trust me. All right, great. So trust in me decides that this, and this. Mm-hmm. I feel X, Y, and Z. Great. I need to just respond to it. I can't ask questions. I can't look for the logic. I can't look for the 911. I just have to trust myself. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Not my head, my heart.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
Very true.
So, Pamela, who are you? Why? Like, who are you? Where did you?
Who am I?
Who are you? How did you end up here? And in 3 sentences, if you could just tell us, at what point did you decide, man, I think I need to do something else. And it's not career, it's you.
Right. So last year, so I knew a few years back in 2015, I retired from one career, and I had this inkling inside me to do something more. I knew it was more than just going to work and working for this company and just giving my entire life to them, which I had already. I knew there was something more. And if something was pulling at me, it's time to go and do what you need to do. So I did that, but then I struggled for 3 years. Like, okay, what am I going to do? What's going on here? Oh, let's do this. Okay, so real estate, I love that because that's a way of building wealth. Let's educate people, all of that. But it wasn't where I needed to be. It didn't use everything that was inside me. And that's where I said, last year, I said, you know what? I need help. I need to find someone. So I started searching, and in real estate, you get bombarded with people all the time.
Told me.
I can help you do this and do that. But that's not what I wanted. I mean, that's not exactly what I wanted. I knew something inside, but I didn't know what it was going to be. And so I just started searching, and then I started talking to you, and I'm like, is she the person that's supposed to be my mentor and help me? And maybe so, because I started listening to what you said and how you operate from the heart and not the head. The head comes in, but you operate from like, here is who I am, and here is what I do, and take it or leave it. And I love that. I mean, not in a bad way, take it or leave it. Don't give me that. Don't take that the wrong way.
It is.
But it was like, she knows who she is. She accepts who she is. She's not running around here trying to be something she's not. She's just like me. I need to get with her and learn more so I can be that comfortable in myself. Seriously, that is what I was thinking. I need to get with her because she's doing it, and that's what I want to do. How do I do that? That's what seriously, that's more than 3 sentences, but
no, I love it. I love it.
That's where I was like, okay, there's somebody that I can relate to, somebody that's a woman, a mom, a Black woman, a business owner. Those are the things I want to do. So here I am, but the authenticity that you bring to your business, that's what I want. Because I've gotten in trouble. Like part of my story is that when I was growing up, and even for most of my adult life, I always have an opinion. I may not always share it, but I do have one. And I think about things, and people are like, no, you're too boisterous. You're too loud, or you're too direct. You're too blunt. Can't you say this another way? Blah, 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 blah. And so, it caused me to sort of scale back
totally
who I am, and to look and say, okay, well, maybe I should just, in order to fit in, I should just,
dial it down.
Right.
Be something that's uncomfortable, but I'm going to be what they want me to be, so that way.
So I can succeed.
But also, what that translates to, so that I'm not rejected.
Right. So I won't be rejected, so I can be accepted.
And, I really appreciate you taking the time to start here, because I was telling, I forget what interview, I think it was yesterday's or the day before, I was talking about, we have this notion, it wasn't until 5 years ago that I realized that women behaved and treated themselves a certain way based on how the world treated us.
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And more importantly, I thought in my naive mind, when I was younger, my early 20s, I think I thought that older women, and I don't mean old women, I just meant women older than me, women who were established.
I understand.
That you figure out who you are at that point, and that everything is perfect. And the things that happen to you as a child, the things that happen to you as a teenager, the things that happen to you in your 20s, they just go away. It wasn't until I started getting older myself and becoming grown, and I realized that I could still feel the veracity of the pain from when I was 8.5 years old and when X happened. Yep. It wasn't until I turned maybe 31 when I said, oh my gosh, I can still feel the pain of what happened with my ex-husband. Like, I can feel it like it happened this morning. I can feel that here. And then when I started to teach, years after that, and I started to teach, and I started to meet thousands of women every quarter who would tell me their stories, and the 72, 65, 44, 30. I was like, wait a second. We all feel like this? Mm-hmm. And then it was an aha for me, because it's like and I say feel like this, we want so badly, we need to fit in. We need to belong. Mm-hmm. That's how we're built, our human nature.
Human nature.
We need to. It's not a fault. It's not a certain personality. It's not introvert versus extrovert. None of the above.
Exactly.
100% human. We need to connect. And so sometimes we're in environments where those people are so insecure that they force their ideals, their small thinking on us. And then we adopt them. And then we feel insecure and inferior for no flipping reason. It's kind of like when I never told you this, but when we were in the story intensive, I listened to you talk about, when we had a moment and I talked to you about your childhood. Mm-hmm. And we talked about you being a tall woman. Mm-hmm. And you did not lay down and say, woe is me, I was a tall woman. And so therefore, but through that moment, it was clear to me that it played a role in how you felt.
Absolutely.
I never shared with you that going to school in an environment where everyone was Spanish, there's a lot of great things that came from it. But what else, and I say was Spanish, understand everybody. this is not a knock for anybody inside of that environment, but when I was a kid, every woman had size feet 5 foot 5. Mm-hmm. Every woman where I grew up, like in my mind, it was like 5 to 6.5. Every woman had like a certain shape, and I was like a little awkward growing up. My feet were way 10 times bigger than that. And
I was 5 when I wore a 5.
Yes, that's exactly it. And
Mm-hmm.
and my hair didn't flow, and there were so many things that I saw because I didn't really see a lot of me's. And I remember now, I can still remember wanting to fit in, being upset that I didn't look like that. Even though there no even though I had no reason to want to look like anything other than myself and to not embrace myself, but because I had been surrounded by an ideology that that was what was accepted. So then I tried to conform to whatever that was. I tried to mimic certain behaviors.
Mm-hmm.
And then I see a repetition of this. When I become a mom and I'm with my ex-husband, and he had a very just crazy way of living, and I found myself adopting to that and making it my norm so that way I would be accepted by him.
Mm-hmm.
Then I get into the business world, and I saw myself in a white America, and I know someone watches this on replay, they're going to be pissed off, but I was in the technology industry, and my business partners were Xerox Corporation and Hewlett Packard. And it's not that it's white America, but it's definitely respectively an all white environment. And they would look at me down the hall coming into meetings and be like, who the hell is that? You know?
Mm-hmm.
And
why are you here?
Why are you here? I can't even tell you the amount of times where I would go to like an annual kickoff and someone would come up to me and say, ma'am, where's the bathroom? Ma'am, where's the coffee? Ma'am, where's this? Mind you, I'm a participant at the same level as all the other people, but I'm getting questions about bathroom and tea. And I realize, oh, because I am the help. I get it. Check. Now, what's real for me in this moment is that I left those experiences and I was like, I'm going to look just like these white men. I'm going to wear a suit to work.
Been there, done that.
And so I started shifting, and I remember going to, I don't remember a store, let's say Banana Republic, and I bought every dull color looking suit that they had that was brown. I had a brown one, a gray one, a black one, and a navy blue. And they weren't stylish, you know, they weren't sexy. There was no sexy in it. My shirt was tucked in, you know, it was buttoned down because I wanted to simulate something that actually did not feel comfortable to me. And it made me feel on the outside. I did that because I wanted to fit in. And there was a point, which is why I asked you, what was your point? There was a point where I said, I'm done. I need to be me. I need to be me in this body as I am, and I need to embrace all of it. I'll say this is the last thing. It's kind of like the first time I did a 3-day event. I don't think I've ever told anyone this, but the first time I ever did a 3-day event, I remember someone saying, why are you wearing X? Why are you wearing that? And I was like, well, ... So fast forward, I produced an event called The Stage last year, and my outfit is so tight. And someone came up to me and said, Tiffany, you think you could wear that? Your stomach is showing. And I was like, but my stomach has the rolls, and I need to see the rolls, because if we don't see the rolls, then all of me is not present. And this room bursts out with laughter. And I realized in that moment how uncomfortable I made everybody, because I was like, no, I want to show my rolls. They're here. I am a woman. I've had children.
Right. This is who I am.
These rolls are here, and I love this dress, and damn it, I'm going to look great on stage, on camera. And I remember everybody like, oh my God, I can't believe she's going to do that. And in that moment, I realized that you make the decision out of the gate, and then all you do is trust yourself along the way.
Yes. But you have to get to that decision. You have to get to decision first. Now, I've now watched you for a year plus, and I watched you make the decision for yourself. Tell me what that journey was like when you were like, you know what? I'm going to choose me. I'm going to choose me. I'm going to choose me, period. End of subject. I don't even know what it looks like. I don't know who I need. Like, what was going in your mind, and why did you decide? Why did you make a decision? How did you know it was the right time? And my goal here is that you teach a woman, and you get to tell a woman, when does she know it's the right time for her to make a decision? So the first thing, the way I knew it was the right time was it was something I couldn't let go of. It was something that was constantly a thought, constantly. Every time I would see something or see someone, it was like, I can do that. I need to do that. That's what I was thinking. I couldn't let it go inside. So that's the first thing. And then also, life is short. I had, death in my family, friends died, and they left here before they could even realize what they could accomplish. And I decided I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to leave here with all of whatever that is inside me and just here. I know I can help others. And I always wanted to help others as a little girl, because that's why I went into healthcare, went into nursing. I wanted to serve others. But as I got older now, I'm like, here's how I can help you, because you need to do what you have to do for yourself. The rest of these people out here, they don't give a damn. They're not going to, you think they're going to accept you, but no, you have to accept yourself first.
Yes.
That is the thing that I'm like, and every day it's a struggle, like, okay, am I okay here? Did I do this right? I mean, I get it, that part every day, but every day I have to tell myself. And so I found this saying, I'll show you. It says, "Don't be like the rest of them, darling." It's a quote from
Coco Chanel. Yes, baby.
And I have that on my off my desk here. You're not like them, so why try to be like them?
So why try to be like them? It's literally a waste of time.
It really is. All of us are given or born with whatever we're born with. Gifts, talents, whatever. We come here the way we're wired, we're just who we are. And we just need to live that. We need to, embrace that. And that's what I didn't for a long time now. And it's not to say that I'm rude now all of a sudden because I embrace my directness. No, that's not it at all. But it's accepting that I can say what I feel, and I'm still going to be valued. I still value myself, whether you do or not. I still value myself.
Listen to you.
It's a struggle every day,
though. You're saying that, but you've come a long way, baby. I'm listening to you, and I'm like, oh my goodness. You know why? Because you're literally doing the damn thing, and I see you wearing that shirt.
Yes.
I love it. You know what? The clarity is sexy. Clarity is so sexy. And I see it on you, and it's like I'm listening to you and I'm thinking, gosh, that is not the same Pamela a year ago at all.
No, I am committed. I am doing this. Because why waste time? I wasted so much time already. I'm not wasting any more time.
Awesome. So I want you to talk just a little bit about, so you make a decision to do the damn thing. You went to camp. And
yes, oh my gosh, that changed my life. I did something in camp that I never ever even thought I could do, was completing a ropes obstacle course.
I know.
Oh my gosh. I always thought, it's probably too tall. And even when we were doing it, I was thinking, what's the weight category? Am I going to make it? I don't know, until the instructor was like, oh yeah, 12,000 pounds.
Yes.
I'm good.
And then you did it, and you were, gosh, your victory dance was crazy. I have it on camera.
Oh my gosh. It's unbelievable. So we never know what we can do until we push ourselves a little bit. And you have to, this is what I love about this community. You have to have people that are really, as I root for others, they're rooting for themselves and me. I love it. I just love it. We're here. It's no pretension. It's none of that. We're here working on what we need to do. And I love that. I never had that before. Like, I've been in a sorority, I've been in business groups and all kinds of stuff. never is it where people really are not judging you. They are really accepting you and rooting you on because we're working together. We're both acknowledging our strengths and our weaknesses and moving forward past them to do what we need to do. I mean, I am so much better than I was like even a month ago. You want to go back further, last year, completely different, but even a month ago, I'm getting there.
I know. Coming back from that story intensive was everything. Game changer. I know.
That's a true. People use that term loosely. Yes. But that was a real game changer for me because it helped me see that I really could do. You thought you couldn't, but yes, you can.
You can. You guys came back so I loved it. Yes, it is. It's so neat for me to just be kind of in the window watching, and we curate this experience. And yeah, there's an experience of doing things, but no, every moment of that is a journey, and getting to the end is like, I like this. Because I know what happens for those at the end. It's just, It's like, it's so exciting. And now, when I think about you, and I loved the video that you did the other day, you got a lot of views, by the way, crazy amount of views. You did, you are wanted and popular. Let me just say this, your clarity on what's happening to women, the things you've put up with for years, where you say, nope, it's time for it to be done. And this is what you think and feel. But what I think I loved most was watching you step into, and I'm going to teach how to get from here to here. Because in your own life, most women who've had a career for 20 plus years in a certain field or industry, and it's a specialty, they kind of go, well, I've retired. Let me just chalk it up and do a couple of things. And you said to yourself, nope, I'm not done.
I'm not done. There is more.
There is more. I'm going to dream. I'm going to laugh. I'm going to drink wine more. I'm going to spend time with friends. Your life is so different today. And to the woman who's sitting out there who has had a 20 plus year career and has said to themselves, well, this is just my life. This is the cards I was dealt. I'm going to make the best of it for the next whatever many years. Please cut it out. Pamela Huley has proven and literally written the book on no, absolutely not. She leaves.
The book is coming.
I know it's coming because I'm going to make sure it happens. Yeah. 20 plus years in career. And then she wasn't having fun before. She was always working. And if she wasn't working, she was serving and living in Usherland.
Right.
Usherland. Absolutely.
I was.
And she was just giving and pouring, even at the end of her 20 plus years in this world. And she was giving, not in this world, in that world of medicine where she comes from. And then she builds herself a life and not doing a few things. I mean, from hanging out with friends and family to heading to Temecula for a week-long retreat to indulge in moments like that, to starting a business, a practice, to being able to pick and choose what boards you want to be on, if you want to be on any boards, because you have a crazy amount of expertise there. You just told me that you got back from Austin a few days ago.
Yes.
Went to see Hamilton.
Right.
And
that was just amazing.
I know. I'm like, shit, you're amazing.
It's like, I'm not going to just be in the background anymore. I'm not. And I would tell that to anybody. Live your life. Don't wait. Don't wait. There's no reason that you can't start now. Wherever you are, you gotta start now. Don't wait. Don't wait. You have to,
I love it. Listen, I got to ask you this question. So to the woman who's on the outside and she's looking in and she's saying to herself, I don't know. She's on the fence. What message, what statement, what thought do you have for her? She's looking in on this crazy world. Onwards to Freedom, Freedom 52.
Right.
Huley's on this side, and she's over here, and she's looking in going, I know I see you shaking your head. Let me just roll up my sleeves for this. This is about to get good.
Yeah. Well, I would say to that woman, believe in yourself. Trust yourself. Ask yourself, what is it do you really want? We spend all of our lives doing something for somebody else. And you can still do those things. But we can't forget about ourselves. I would say, what do you really want to do? How do you want to, if your life was to end tomorrow, what would you want people to say? Would you like to go out like this, where you are right now, with dreams inside you that you haven't lived, you haven't even told anybody what you wanted? No. I'd say start now. Start now. And that's one thing I did learn a long time ago in terms of like, because I am a believer, and sometimes when people ask you to pray, can you pray for this? Can you pray for that? People say, yeah, sure, I'll pray. But then they don't. So one of the things that I learned, because they get busy, not because they don't want to, but they get distracted or whatever. What I learned is that you do it now. So if somebody ever asks me, pray for this, I pray immediately. And that lesson finally, years later, has translated into how I'm living my life. If it's something I need to do, I got to do it now. This is the time to do it now. And that's what I would say to any woman that's like, oh, I don't know if I like these people, or I don't know, let's see, she don't look like me, or she's got too much of this or not enough of that or whatever. I'd say just come on in and do it now.
Come on in and do it now. I love those words. Mm-hmm. I love those words. I love those words, doggone it.
Yeah, come on in. Because I was in the same boat, on the outside looking in. Is this right? What? And I'm just so glad. I just feel like amazing. I'm blessed. I'm all the positive adjectives that you could come up with. That's how I feel about making this decision to join this community. And I couldn't be happier about it. I really couldn't. There's no way I could be any happier about it.
I love that. I love that. Pamela, you know, the truth is that I adore you. I have watched you. I've watched you like this in a window and from afar, and I've been able to watch your own journey as you've made a decision to do the damn thing. You're owning your story. You're not apologizing for it. I listen to you, and the clarity on you is so doggone sexy. I literally cannot wait to see what you do in the next 6 months.
Oh, I can't wait either. I'm working on it. I've written out my business story. You know, those are tough questions, like, what is it you're trying to do here?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
And yeah, so it's not easy. Nothing's easy in life. Nothing worth it is easy, but it's not impossible. And that's what I learned. It's not impossible.
It's not impossible. It's super possible. Super possible.
Super possible. Is that a word? That's
it's
one.
Not.
That's
we're doing it. We're just, we're going to make it. We're making it super possible.
Add it to Merriam-Webster.
Don't play, because I have like 19 of them I'm about to submit for next year.
Oh, excellent.
Absolutely. Mother flipping crazy. Are you kidding me?
Yes. I love it.
So Pamela, thank you so much for hanging out with me, allowing me to spend this really important time with you, and more importantly, for us to get to know you, because I believe 100% that success leaves clues, and you're someone who I've chosen within our community to tell their story and their journey, because you have accomplished some crazy things over the last couple of months, and it's like,
it's more to come.
More to come. Awesome. Awesome. Yes. Awesome. So make sure you say hi to Pamela for those who are watching this live. And I love you, and I will see you.
I love you too.
Mwah. Mwah. Bye.
Bye.